Hey everyone, welcome back. So today we are going to discuss another LeetCode problem statement, that is minimum number of arrows to burst balloon. This is a 452 LeetCode problem statement of medium category. So there are some balloons tapped onto a flat wall that represents the x and y axis. So the balloons are represented in 2D array, which we have given in the form of points and 10, 16. These are all the values we have. Okay, and what we have to make sure, like, these balloons are there in a horizontal axis, it's in horizontal diameter. The first one you can consider it as start, and the another one you can consider it as end. So you have to figure it out, like, using how many arrows you can burst all the balloons. For an example, if the balloon is there in a wall, like in horizontal way, so you have to use a vertical arrow in order to burst the balloons. So we have to return the total number of balloons required over here. So let's consider this example. So here you have, let's say this is y-axis and this is x-axis, and here we have one, two, three, four, and five. So this is start and end, right? First thing, you have to sort it based on end. So this is end, right? Two, three, four, and five. So this is already in sorted order, but we have to do it explicitly. So 1 and 2, it means there is one balloon from here to here. Another one is 2 and 3. So again we have one balloon from here to here. So another one is again 3 and 4. So from here to here there is one balloon, and 4 and 5 again from here to here you have. So if you will shoot a arrow from this position, you will only burst one balloon at a time. Okay, now again if you will shoot it from here, it will burst one balloon at a time. So likewise this will also burst, and again from here it will burst. So total 4 arrows is required in order to burst. So this is the approach we have to follow. So let me quickly jump to the board and we'll discuss this approach in details. So this is the problem statement where we have 10, 16, 2, 8, 1, 6, and 7, 12. So the first step, as we have discussed, whatever data we have, right, we just have to sort it based on end value. So the start value, whatever given array we have, right, this is the one. We will consider this 2, 8, and then we have 1, 6, and at last we have 7, 12. This one is start and the other one is end. So what we have to do, we just have to sort it based on end. So for that it will be 1, 6 first, then you will have 2, 8, and then you have 7, 12, and at last you will have 10 and 16. So let's consider this one as 0th index, first, second, third. So 1 and 6, right? It means balloon diameter is from 1 to 6, like this. Another one we have is 2 to 8. So it will come from 2 to 8. And then we have 7 to 12. So from 7 we have till 12. And the other one which we have, that is from 10 to 16, like this we have. Now, if we will consider the first, this one, right, we just have to take the end index. So for end, it's a 6. So if I will shoot an arrow from this position, it will burn two things. First, it will burn this as well as this. Two balloon it will burst. Now, again, if we will see, this two balloon is gone by using one arrow. Now, if we will come at 12, if we will shoot an arrow from this position, right? So it will burst this balloon as well as this balloon. So these two, it will take one. So how we are going to solve this one? At the start, the number of arrow will consider it as one, and the last arrow, another thing we'll consider as last arrow. This will be we have to consider it initially, it will be the end value, that is 6. Now iteration will start from first index and it will go up to the length. Now what you have to check, you have to see whether this first index s1 value, if this value, if it is greater than the previous, this last arrow, right, it means you need additional arrow. So in this case it is not greater than, so we don't need any additionals, we will simply increment the value of I, it will come here. Now if we will see here, we have 7, and what is the last value? Last value we have 6. It means we need additional, so we will increment the value of arrow. Once you will increment the value of arrow, now you have to update last arrow, because you are at this index and the last arrow value will be the end, that is 12. Okay, now again the value of I will increment and it will come at this position. This time again it will see what is the value of start, whether this is greater than the last arrow. No, it's not. It means we don't need any additional, so this 2 will be our output. This is simple problem statement. Let me quickly jump to the LeetCode compiler and we'll write the code for the same. Okay, so the first thing, as we have discussed, we have to sort it based on end. So for that, I will be using arrays dot sort, and we have to sort this 2D array, that is points, and I'm just using lambda just to sort it down. So for that, we will be using integer dot compare. This takes two parameter. The first parameter is first value end, and the second one will be the second value end. Based on that, it will compare and sort it. After that, as we have discussed, I am just going to create one variable called arrow, and the other thing which we have to figure it out, like last arrow. Okay, so this one will take it as points. It will consider 0th index array and the last value, that is 1. Okay, after that, what we have to do, we just have to start the iteration. Iteration will start from first index and it will go up to the length of this points 2D array, and each time it will keep on incrementing. Then we have to calculate the value of S1, as we have discussed. That will be, points of I and 0th index. Similarly, we have to calculate the value of E1. This will be again points I of 1. Okay, so this is what we have to figure it out. And after that, you have to make a comparison. If S1 value is greater than last arrow, if it is greater, then you need additional arrow. So you just have to increment the value of arrow, and at the same time you have to update the value of last arrow, that will be E1. And after doing all sort of activity, at the end you have to simply return this arrow. That will be your output. So let me quickly execute this code and we'll see whether it's working properly or not. Okay, so all the 3 test cases passed successfully. Let me submit this solution. Okay, so all the 50 test cases passed successfully, and this is the approach we have to follow in order to solve this problem statement. If you like the video, do subscribe the channel. Thank you for watching. Enjoy your day.